We are really known as one of the #1 brands in cannabis in California. We've had the top selling flower in the state, the top selling vape pens in the state, one of the top brands in the state, and we continue to seek to be the most trusted name in cannabis in California. But we obviously have aspirations to go beyond California into other states over the next couple of years. And we really believe that, Mr. Carter's creative genius and his ability to really have the pulse of what a cultural movement is, will be able to help Caliva do that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the biggest MJ SPAC, also backed by Jay-Z, which I thought was pretty interesting and deserved its own video. So shout out to Nick in the comments for putting me onto this one. I hadn't heard of it yet, and if you guys ever want to see something, go ahead and drop a comment, and if it's interesting enough to make a video on, I'll do that. So before we get into it, if you don't mind dropping a like and hitting subscribe, it really helps out the channel. And then check out the links in the description to the free Discord server, my merchandise, and also my Webull referral link, where when you sign up and deposit $100, you're getting 4 free stocks right now, which is basically free money. Now let's get into it. All right, so getting into this article, it says SPACs are so hot, even Jay-Z is partnering with one. He's set to be the chief visionary officer for California's largest cannabis firm. Now, I know most of you know who Jay-Z and Beyonce are, but we have some other names as well down here. So this is going to be set to merge in January of 2021, and this was just announced the other day. He also has artists like Rihanna, Yo Gotti, and Meek Mill behind this, and they are invested via private placement. Now, I know most of you know who Rihanna is. The other two are smaller artists, but still very well known and will attract, more investors as well. So it says it's been a breakout year for SPACs, and the cannabis industry is set to expand and grow as things get legalized. I completely agree with that. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool is, Jay-Z did announce this partnership back in October, and he'll be launching his own line. I believe it's called Monogram. Jay-Z's Roc Nation announced an exclusive partnership with the parent company, and, I think this has a lot of potential, but we're going to get into more details. Another reason I'm actually interested in this SPAC is because next week, federal MJ legalization bill will get a congressional vote, and this could happen as early as December 2nd. So I do see these MJ stocks, hyping up, such as ACB, TLRY, and even CGC. So I did open a position in 2 of those to swing, and I think, we'll see these stocks catch a little hype and momentum and then possibly sell off. Always sell the news on this kind of stuff. So I will be selling those before Wednesday. But I wanted to cover this because I want to see how this SPAC could possibly react to this news. So basically, this article goes on to say that it's still a huge issue that this is illegal on a federal level, and it messes with the investment perspective. Although California has legalized it for recreational use, if that continues to happen, then the cannabis industry could grow into an $80 billion industry by 2030. If it becomes legal under federal law, that would be huge. Now, this has Wall Street establishments interested, such as Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. They are assisting in the cannabis-related SPACs going public. And it even says, now Jay-Z and his Roc Nation superstars are players at the table. All right, so let's get into the actual deal and logistics of it. So basically, the entertainment powerhouse Roc Nation signs exclusive cannabis partnership with parent company. $36.5 million in equity commitments from existing and new shareholders provides sufficient cash to satisfy closing conditions. The transaction is expected to close in January of 2021. Class A units currently trade on the NEO under the symbol SVC.A.U and on the OTCQX under the symbol SBVCF. So basically, you're not going to get this on Robinhood, Webull. You're not going to get it. You can get it on TD Ameritrade and the bigger brokerages that trade over-the-counter stocks. But something to keep in mind is OTC markets are not held to the same standards as being listed on the New York Stock Exchange. I believe that orders are harder to get filled and just different regulations, not held to the same standards. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's just dive into the investment highlights. They have a proven business model with attractive valuation. So this is 2 top California operators merging together. You have the Caliva and Left Coast Ventures. Will create a fully vertical integrated platform with cultivation, manufacturing, brands, retail, and delivery to support further brand development and an aggressive M&A strategy. Caliva and Left Coast Ventures expect combined pro forma revenues of $185 million in 2020 and then $334 million in 2021, which is a pretty big jump. Progressive Operation and Platform, both of these guys here have deep California roots that will allow the parent company to own its supply chain, enabling the company to leverage scale and profitability to produce and distribute a broad portfolio of cannabis products for every consumer segment. More on the deal. Exclusive partnership with Jay-Z, we know that. Unrivaled consumer reach. Caliva currently reaches over 50% of consumers in California through their existing platform for delivery. The parent company is expected to have the greatest consumer reach of any cannabis company in California, reaching 75% of consumers in the state by the end of 2021 and almost 90% by the end of 2022. So that's huge. They have a huge market share. Strong balance sheet. They currently hold approximately $575 million in cash in trust, which would make the parent company one of the most well-capitalized cannabis companies in the United States, assuming no redemptions. The parent company expects to pursue an aggressive M&A strategy to accelerate growth, market share gains, and profitability. On to experience management team. The parent company will be led by an experienced executive team with deep knowledge of the combined companies, the cannabis industry, and the consumer packaged goods, technology, and financial industries. Following the closing of the transaction, the parent company will be led by the following: Steve Allen, Brett Cummings, Dennis O'Malley, and Jay-Z.
It's just more about relationships. I pretty much try to work with brands if there's some sort of partnership there. No, I don't typically do a one-off endorsement deals. I've just never been interested in that. It's just more so if I can create some sort of partnership.
You're not willing to just give the Jay-Z brand out or let people buy it from you.
And for me, it's my life. It's who I am as a person. So I can't just let someone have creative control of who I am.
Sure.
I think just doing things that you believe in, things that you understand. I think that's the best investment. I heard Warren Buffett say that just the other day. And I just innately felt that, just invest in things that you understand.
So I know this deal isn't 100% about Jay-Z, but I really wanted to dive into his personal investments because he didn't become a billionaire, combined with Beyonce just by rapping. So if he's investing in something, there's got to be something, worth investing in for him. Now, as a rapper, he is surrounded by partying, entertainment, liquor, and MJ. And he's even quoted by saying that, he invests in what he knows. So he dipped his feet in the sports business world in 2003 when he bought a small percentage of the New Jersey Nets. And he basically revamped the team and the branding and moved them to Brooklyn in 2012. He then sold his position the next year. In 2015, Jay-Z bought behind the company Tidal, which is a streaming service that isn't used all that much, but he bought for $56 million. And this is where he releases all his music, and he attracted a lot of people onto Tidal, because that's how you can listen to Jay-Z. And now it's worth $600 million. He also rakes in money from a brand of champagne called Armand de Brignac. I'm probably butchering that. And that was in 2014. And then he also is a partial owner of Douce, which is made by Bacardi. He also has his entertainment label, Rock Nation, which is owned by Live Nation. And they launched a sports management division called Rock Nation Sports in 2013. They're also involved in a partnership with the NFL, which is announced in August of 2019. And that's for music, entertainment shows, football games, etc. He's also an investor in JetSmart, a startup that allows people to rent private jets like they would in Uber or Lyft. And he's the owner of the 4040 Club, an upscale sports bar and nightclub in Manhattan. He goes on to say, "My brands are an extension of me," Jay-Z told Men's Health in 2010. "The clothes are an extension of me. The music's an extension of me. All my businesses are part of the culture. So I have to stay true to whatever I'm feeling at the time, whatever direction I'm heading in, and hopefully everyone follows." Him and Beyonce, a decade later, have a combined net worth of $1.3 million with no signs of slowing down. So I think it's safe. They won't be running out of money anytime soon. It's clear they know what they're doing and how to invest. And I think if he's investing in something, it's at least worth looking into. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I did want to discuss their revenue, their financials, and then wrap it up with my overall conclusion. So as you can see here, they're going to have revenue from delivery, retail, branded wholesale, and bulk wholesale. They are expecting to grow their revenue year over year, as you can see, from $185 million to $334 million, and in 2022, it's an estimated $593 million, which is huge growth. as things get legalized and more common, they expect to expand and grow revenues, and I think that's a pretty positive thing. So we didn't get too much on their financials from the investor presentation, but we did get some financial projections, and as you can see here, things really drastically changed going from 2020 to 2021, and these are in millions, keep in mind, so gross profit will also change drastically. I mean, that's a huge jump from 2020 to 2021, and then from 2021 to 2022, and their EBITDA will finally be positive in 2021, and that will just continue to get better as the years go on. Some more highlights: they're going to shift to direct to consumer with focus on owned brands. They have a strong balance sheet and vertical platform to capitalize on massive California consolidation opportunities. So we didn't get too much, but this looks very promising. And I actually think the entire MJ market and industry will do well as things get legalized and they are all allowed to expand. All right, so in conclusion, I think hiring someone like Jay-Z is pretty smart. People do look up to him, view him as a legend, and he's one of the wealthiest people in the world. He's a solid businessman and has a lot of knowledge about the MJ industry. So his name will definitely draw in a ton of interest. However, I tend to avoid OTC stocks just because they're not held to the same regulations as the New York Stock Exchange. Now, this one will be interesting to watch as MJ is legalized and the industry grows. However, as I mentioned earlier, there's some alternative plays that you can already get into with established companies near the same cost per share, such as ACB or TLRY, or even CGC. They're just a bit, pricier. So this is one that I mainly did because I am a huge fan of Jay-Z. I want to see what he's investing in and why he's investing in it. And although we didn't tap into each specific MJ company that is in this SPAC, we got a good look at the investor presentation and what it's all about. I am curious to see how things go leading up to the merger and post-merger, but I will be following it, especially going into this next week, and to see if things do pass with this vote. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think of this, and have a good one.
Name is Ho, H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by